we must first recognize that we've got two perspectives coming into the objective of a value creation roadmap. The investor's perspective is anchored first in an industry vertical investment thesis, and it's further refined relative to the portfolio company. And diligence is conducted relative to that investment thesis for the vertical and fine-tuning it for the specific portfolio company. The seller's perspective is different. If for no other reason, they tend to hire an intermediary, also known as an investment banker, to represent them in the transaction. And it's their specialty. They are going to run the business while the intermediary, quote, writes the book and makes a market. Well, sometimes both of these exercises are so intense that one can lose track of the other. And the seller may not be fully immersed in the book per se. The term investment thesis might not be a familiar term. It tends to be an MBA type term. The seller may not know that they're going to be held accountable for it after the close. And even more so, it might elevate some needs in bandwidth and skill set to do it. So you walk in with, I won't say completely disparate perspectives. I don't want to project any type of notion that there's no communication going on, but no communication is perfect. And when you're flying at Mach 2, you can fly past some signs that at a slower speed you might have read and digested a little differently. So now we're in a consummated transaction, and it is imperative to be rooted in the same priorities for the same reasons. There are always more items you could do than you can do simultaneously. And since everything is judged by internal rate of return, you need to choose the right ones first for the right reasons, because the more accretive they are, the more they fund subsequent initiatives along the investment horizon. So just to punctuate this with something relevant, in 25 years of doing this, I have never, and I'm careful about hyperbolic comments, I have never seen complete alignment on the buyer and seller perspectives. And one of the reasons for that is that no diligence is perfect. No diligence is perfect. There are two big issues to beware. One is sometimes the diligence may not be sufficiently scoped. And in some instances, I've seen that the diligence on a particular topic just was not done. It wasn't deemed relevant for whatever reason, and it just wasn't done. But when you include the right people in this discussion, you get the people who have run the business for a while, some of which may not have been exposed to diligence at all, and the investors engaging them perhaps for the first time. There's this conversational dynamic when we all realize we're on the same page for the same reasons and we need to be aligned on the same priorities. Some magic happens, and it tends to happen better, faster, and more accretively if you have somebody facilitate that who has no bias brought into this from either the seller or the buyer's perspective. And hence, that's the virtue and the odyssey of the value creation roadmap. So the punchline is alignment on the same priorities for the same reasons. And what can happen, and often does, is that one of these, at least one of these deliverables, sometimes more than one, will elevate a bandwidth and or skill set deficiency that good investment partners step up and say, we know someone who can help you that can deploy very soon. Would you like to be introduced to these people? They're somebody we've worked with before, and it's up to you to decide if you want to use them or not, but they can help you with this. And collectively, time is our enemy. So these resources, this bullpen that we have pre-vetted, this specific resource we want to introduce you to for these reasons, just know that we're okay with them. And if you're okay with them, have at it.